Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old Hank. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing, you know, we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks whistling at them on the country. Yes, sir. You know, we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long. Bonfire.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Panthers.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the San Diego Chargers and the Carolina Panthers. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say confidence, because that's how he felt about his own abilities and his ability to elevate a team.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
And he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Holding offense. A penalty is declined.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. Only 29 yards on the punt there, definitely not his best. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big gain that time for the Chargers. 31 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, it gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. On 2nd down, Hyde. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Cutler. And that is incomplete. That one intended for Anquan Bolden. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down.
319.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. 7 yards on the play. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. 3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Throwing now is Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught. I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a good game.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The veteran James Jones, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Rodgers will try again on second down. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's brought down. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
So this will be the 9th play on this drive. First and goal here from the 2. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Defense. The penalty is declined.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Chargers. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They come out here in the eye. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. Following the penalty, it's Hyde. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
On second down, Cutler. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On second down, here's Cutler. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. The Panthers off to the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And this is complete to Zach Miller. 20 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Carolina first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And it's 3rd and short.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety, Cam Chancellor. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Here's the Panthers defense as they get set to go again. They were able to pick up a big fumble last time with the ball on their side of the field. See if they can try that once more.
I love the way they hung in there, though, because a lot of the time, all you're trying to do on defense is scramble and to hold your ground a little bit. They actually flipped things, didn't they? Took the ball away, created something for their own team.
And they'll be trying to create something for their team once more.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player. On
the counter, this is Hyde. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Throwing here, Cutler, and he's got Moncrief. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
On 1st down, it's Cutler. Surveying the field. Incomplete. Carlos Hyde was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They give them 12 yards and a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go screen pass to Hyde. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And back to the ground, Hyde. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. So they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now movement up front. I think this will be on San Diego.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Out of the gun, it's Cutler. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And the Panthers coming out now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm hearing my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game, right?
And it's a fumble. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it second and goal.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
A 10th carry for Hyde, and he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So they recover the fumble in plus position, but they can't go anywhere. In fact, they go backwards, but they do get a field goal out of it.
They'll take the 3, but in a lot of ways, they feel like they let themselves down by not capitalizing, and they definitely let the defense down for getting the key turnover.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, second down. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Now Cutler. He dumps it to Hyde. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they were trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 2nd down, Cutler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
The left side completion to Jones. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
And maybe expecting a throw. To throw is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They'd have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And Wilson has it. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll throw on first down with Cutler. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Cutler to throw again. And look at that, a diving catch. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing now, Cutler on first down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. From the red zone now, here's Cutler on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Final play of the half. It's Cutler. He's got time in the pocket. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Dante Moncrief as time expires in the first half. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And he's got it up and through. And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out?
So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Handoff comes to Hyde, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
To throw, Cutler. Out to the right here to Wilson. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now they'll look to throw it with Cutler. Moncrief brings it in. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Good! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Going right side, he has Witten. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And they're going to speed things up here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covered him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They go play action here on first down. Finding time. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit.
To throw, McCarron. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
I have to admit, this statistic surprised me when I saw it. Carolina in 2015, a 15-1 team in the regular season, mind you, gave up 4 block kicks.
Tied for the most in the league with the Browns.
That almost feels like a team that was so much in control that they just had some letdowns or some breakdowns.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And he was able to find a very soft spot in that zone coverage.
I love that term, Brandon. That soft spot where you find the open area, set up, and catch the football before the hard collision comes afterwards.
Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's high. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. From the red zone now, here's Cutler on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
2nd and 10 now. It's Cutler. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Josh Lambo now for the Charger field goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few 1st downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Now after the interception, here's Cutler. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, spinning away. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Here's Cutler to throw. It's brought in by Bolden. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. They come out here in the I. They run high. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They run it again with Hyde. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football and don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
McCarron. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 6 there on the first down play. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come out here in the I. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up. Third down now following the run. They'll run it with Sproles. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Here's Josh Lambo now for the Charger field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struck.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
High. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley. Struggling. Can they get the score they need to get back in this football game? Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here we go. Detroit!
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. To throw, McCarron. He's going to try and go deep again. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll drop the throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. A gain of 32 that time. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw now on first down. Going up top. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw again. He's going to go up top again. He's got a man complete. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Jermaine Kearse is up. Setting up here for the onside kick. They need this football. Now, can the receiving team thwart that from happening? And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. The kicking unit onto the field now as they're looking to at least get 3 points out of this drive. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will make this now a 19-point. This offense definitely needs points here to get back in this football game. They can start to chip away right now. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said,
and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.